Oh, there we go. We're live. We're live. So, good evening and welcome to this Wednesday night edition of Sport and Vape. As you may know, my name's Roy Reviews, and I'll just quickly introduce my co-host for this evening and future host of the show, hopefully, Mr. Ben Reid. Good evening, Ben. How's you?
I'm not too bad, Roy. Thanks for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure. I've watched some of your videos, so I have, and it's great quality, and I can't wait to help the community and give insight into my side of vaping and how it helps me as an athlete as such.
That's good. Oh, and I do apologise. First thing I would like to say is, for anybody out there at the moment, I do apologise for the delay on us coming online. We've actually got nobody in there at the minute, I don't think. Don't despair, people will come.
Yeah.
The notification has just gone out, so.
Yeah.
Oh my. My work has just invoked the BCP clan, so that might hamper me just at the moment. Just waiting for more information coming through from work. What am I looking for? I'm all 6s and 7s. So we have actually, there's Craig, we've got Colin, we've got Village Vapor, we've got Big Guns, and we've got Vaping at Pete's Place. Welcome everybody. Do apologise, and we've got Big Jam as well. So we'll restart again, Ben. How's that?
Yeah, sounds perfect to me, Roy.
So good evening everybody in chat. How are you this evening? And welcome to Sport and Vape. And hopefully this is going to be a regular feature now on a Wednesday night. So going forward, it's going to be Ben's show. So I'm here to help Ben get into it. Tease himself into it. So those who don't know, may know me, some of these may know me, the big mouse in the corner here, Roy's Reviews. But Ben is 20 years of age, he's an avid sports fan, and he plays rugby for Banbridge and Belfast Met Academy. Takes me back a long time. I used to play rugby whenever I was at school.
Yeah. It's tough going, so it is, like.
So, is that, I take it that's at a high level then?
Banbridge, I'm playing second, 15 rugby, and then with Belfast Met, I'm on the first team for them. So I'm playing every Wednesday and every Saturday, training about 5 times a week on a training pitch and 5 times in the gym. So I'm not doing as much as professional rugby players, but I'm not far off it with work ethic and training and stuff like that, and nutrition as well.
Did you take it before you were a vapor, you were a smoker?
Yeah, sort of 16, thought I'd be the big dog and start smoking and stuff like that there. And then, you know, friends started talking to me. They were like, your performances went down and stuff like that there, and you know, why don't you think about getting into vaping? So at the start I was like, oh sure, I'll vape in front of my friends, but then in front of my other friends I'll go out and I'll smoke my brains out. And then
Geo using, oh my god.
Basically I got full time into vaping a year ago, where I just focused solely on getting off the cigarettes, and I started off with a wee 50 watt mod that I got off Amazon, which was cheap as chips, and then started getting into the big boy guns, got myself a Wismec RX23, and then get myself a Gen 3 soon enough. That's the next.
You what?
Next big.
Gen 3? Are you wise? I'm joking. So what are you vaping on this evening then?
I would be vaping on the RXT3 and Cinnabons, or potentially Lemmy Tart, but my vape is currently lost. It got stolen on the night out, and just I've ordered a new one, and hopefully it'll be here in the next 2 to 3 days, and as of next Wednesday I'll be able to blow some clouds and talk to the viewers and stuff like that there.
I'll just sit here and vape.
Yeah.
Well, I'm currently on my Revenger, with the Kenzai on top of it.
Kenzai is an unreal RTA.
I must say I am loving it. I bought it there just before Christmas, but I'm one of the lucky ones that actually I've got 2 Kylans sitting there, and they don't leak because I learned how to wick them properly of vaping with Vic. So they're both sitting there at the minute. I also got, well, in that I have got some of the most amazing, one of the most amazing juices I've had is that one.
It looks lovely.
Which is
not gonna lie.
Vape cocktails, and Vape cocktails pop cola. And have you ever had either vanilla vodka or vanilla vodka and cherry coke? That is just exactly what it's like, minus the vodka, unfortunately. What it is, it's just a cola. It's a fizzy cola with vanilla and cherries. And I've also on the go my trusty G-Box Squonker with a drop RTA on top of it. And in that I have got, which one is it? Oh, it's that. Titanic's Captain Custard Butterscotch Custard. And if you have never tried Titanic's butter or custard range, you're missing out.
I think Titanic's custard donut was like the best thing they ever brought out in the drip sauce stuff, and then now the Captain Edwards range, it's good to see that you don't have to rely on old reliable custard donut to fill your vaping.
Sorry, just to what the heck happened? Oh, the box on VC has decided to. I wonder if there's something I was talking about. It's just I noticed in the stream, my picture just went extremely large and disappeared off the side of the screen. Sorry, peoples. Your VC gone large. Oh dear. Craig, just to answer your question there, I don't need one night in the year to show somebody I care about them. And all these ones that do that and just need one day, Valentine's Day, to tell their missuses they love them or whatever. So, what's your experience been then? How's it affecting you sport wise?
If anything, it's helping me sport wise. It's sort of, people always say smoking doesn't affect you as a rugby player. It does. Like, see, when you're doing a hard fitness session for at least 45 minutes, maybe 3 times a week, you know, you're starting to blow, you're starting to pull up, you're starting to get more injured, and your airways aren't as open. I think when I personally moved from smoking to vaping and continued to play, I found it was a lot more healthier. I found it was more cost effective in the long term, because uh, sort of the price went up, and you know, I work on a farm, so money's a bit tight sometimes.
Money tight for farmers. Yeah, right. Whatever. Evening, Bunny.
And sort of, I find the vaping, it's almost a mental thing. Before a game, it's good to go out and have a vape and stuff, because it settles your nerves and stuff. And then sort of with the new stuff, the CBD stuff actually coming in, it can actually help with my recovery time, because there's certain chemicals in it which help relax muscles. So there used to be muscle relaxants out there on market wholesale. They're now illegal in rugby, so I had to look at legal things I could do, and apart from sleep more, eat more, and train less, I couldn't really do that. And then the vapeable CBD oil came in, and sort of it's helped a lot, because I can blot a wee bit into a tank. I can put in like a wee small smidgen, I can put in my favourite liquid on top, and I can sit, and after physio I can use that there after. And then on the daily, I would have a Bonza, and I'd have a decent build in it, and I'd use Cinnabons, and for day to day and going to college and stuff like that there. I find
Cinnabons, who makes that?
Drip sauce.
Drip sauce. It's not one I've tried, so.
I'll run and grab my bottle now, so I will, just to show you what it looks like.
Not a problem at all. Lots of sports personalities use Canna Vape UK. That's awesome, Craig. And as usual, Craig was the first one in chat. That's normal. I think he just likes stalking me. Is that right, Craig?
So my two day-to-day go-to liquids would be this here, Cinnabons by Drip Sauce. It's nice because it's not an overpowering cinnamon taste, and also it's also quite creamy as well. And then lemmy tart, everybody's like favourite dessert. I know it is mine. Don't know about yours, Roy. Don't know if you like the sweet liquids, but I think lemmy tart is an all-day great vape, because it doesn't cloud your taste buds as well.
I like sweet ones. I do like the sweet ones. But
oh, you'd love this here then.
I have to admit, the Captain's Custard Lemon Curd.
Yeah.
Is, out of all the Captain's Custards, I know this isn't because I've reviewed them and I've spent so much time with them, but the Captain's Lemon Curd is amazing. To me, it blows the hands off anything I've tried before. I'd tell you a nice one. Bonnie's got it right. Roy's addicted to Captain's Custard at the minute. Yeah, I've reviewed it, so I don't have to be vaping it, but every day I have to have Captain's Custard at the minute.
Yeah, it's good though. It's nice to see companies in Northern Ireland itself making their own liquid. Like fair play to the likes of Rude Boy and Titanic, and like they're doing stuff that they're going beyond the norms. Like they're a business in themselves, but then they're looking at more the wholesale, so it's a more holistic view in their business, which is great to see. The fact that people are not just focusing on selling kits and very much being, oh, get off the fags, come on, start vaping. They're pushing themselves onto like possibly a global market. Like it takes a lot of guts to actually go out there and make your own stuff.
buy, Craig? Unless you maybe have gone through a bit of a delay on it. One lemon one for you, Ben, never to buy. That one.
Oh, I've been asked to get spook juice before, and I've just never wanted to get it.
Oh, Bunny's had other spook juice, which is actually quite nice, but she had the flu, so maybe changed it. But that stuff is vile. I mean, vile. It's like getting Jif's cleaner out of the kitchen and vaping on it. So I know one of the conversations we had, in the lead up to this, you said you were hospitalised at one stage.
Yeah, I was. I ended up having a collapsed lung and a medial unistatinum due to smoking. It also happened due to poor recovery time. I thought it was fine to play a game. Ended up having 3 cracked ribs, and went in on the Saturday, passed out in the house. Mum's a cardiology nurse, so she said, get him to hospital. He's literally like sat here. He's not right. You need to get him in the hospital, make sure he's okay. And I went in, got x-rays and stuff, and when you're in hospital for 5 days and you're constantly going to see x-rays and the doctors are constantly hounding you, like how many do you smoke and stuff like that there, it scared me to want to pick up another cigarette. And then, me being naive and young, I picked another one up, and
yeah, naive and young is right.
Yeah, and then sort of came age to start going out, and like just after that there, seeing people like smoking and stuff, I was like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to get into vaping. I want to challenge myself in such a way, and then started vaping. And I would go to Total Vapor in the Craigie Road, and Nathan would blow jellyfishes and stuff. I was like, you know what, I wanna be like that there. I'm gonna blow some jellyfishes. I'm gonna do really nice hoops. And then sort of the trick aspect of it became something I was infatuated about. And then obviously now the building, I found the first RDA I got was the Vandy Vape Icon. I got it in a trade. I had a Cledo Exo, and somebody wanted a Sobome tank. I was like, I have a Sobome here. There's the Vandy Vape bike, and he gave me a Vandy Vape Icon. And I tell you, that deck, because it is just one post, there's no split post or anything, it's so easy for a beginner builder to build on. And then also I found, as soon as I moved up onto the Bonza,
what you need is one of those. That's what you need. A coilie. If you're building, sorry, just 2 seconds. Hi Zan, hi VCR, hi John, and I said hi to Maggie. Yeah, you need one of those in your life. If you're building, you need one of those in your life. And the coilie.
Yeah.
They're $5.99. And the coilie. So I put an unboxing of it. I've got a review coming up, but I tried it last night for the first, and on the Kenzai. And I'll tell you what. Normally, what I had the issue with the Kenzai was put it through one side. No problem at all. You just cut it off. But say when you put in the second side, the dual coil, you're having to move everything to try and cut it, and you're cutting, gauging it. Use that. So wee notches along there.
Yeah.
Put that against the post to find out what side, how deep the post is. Where you go, cut it the first time, and easy. So there's a review coming up for that shortly. Sorry.
Yeah.
John, they'll be coming up. There's more coming up. Simon is making them as fast as he can. So he is. Keep trying on his website, and also at Nature Vape as well. So, as you were saying, my apologies. You'll get used to me. I do this all the time.
Sort of I found Vandy Vape stuff is very, very easy to build on compared to likes of Dead Rabbits, because you need to have at least built, at least say 100 coils yourself and put in 100 coils to be able to work with, especially the brand new Dead Rabbit.
I think the Dead Rabbit's a lot easier because it's got the rabbit ears, and Bunny will keep telling you she's not dead. Because it's got the bunny ears, you get the cut underneath it. But that tool will help immense for anybody. Mike,
sorry, right.
Sorry, can't get on yet. I'm really stressed. Dear, can't get on yet. I'm really stressed. His cams are messed up. Oh, it looked like Daniel was going to call in, but he can't because his cams have went.
No, I think more people my age need to think more about the healthier options, especially if you're a young person, you're playing sport. Like, I don't know sort of what audience the channel is going to have, but I feel like if you're playing sport and you're playing at any decent level, I think you need to look at vaping, because,
well, to me it's one of these things. You've experienced. Okay, you started smoking at 16, you were probably playing sports by that stage anyway.
Yeah.
You're a sort of example of somebody who started smoking, seen how it affected you while you were trying to play rugby, while you smoked, and now that how long have you been vaping?
I've been vaping a year and a half now,
so
close to 2 years.
Yeah, so your lungs will have cleared out most of the crap from the cigarettes and everything else, all the tar and everything else being going into your body. You're still getting that bit of nicotine going into it. But if you were going to have any adverse effects of vaping, playing sports, then it would be apparent now. You'd be going, well, there's no difference between me smoking and playing sports, or me vaping and playing sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Right, chat is just going off on one. Daniel, I think you've got that mixed up, because if Maggie's got cobwebs, you must be doing the hand sports. It's on running from Sunday shows, so I do apologise. They do get a bit rowdy. You have to sort of try and keep that lot in check a bit.
Oh, trust me, like, it's probably just light-hearted, like, banter and stuff like that there.
It's totally light-hearted banter, especially when it's Maggie, Zan. When there's Maggie, Zan, Bunny, well, Craig's gone now. When Craig was there, and if Gilly Bob comes in, then that'll be it. So it'll be just the mad squad, as they're called.
Yeah.
So what's your hopes then for yourself and the rugby scene?
Sort of next year, play first 15 rugby, play on league rugby, and compete against some of the best teams in Ireland. Like the league we're in at the minute, All Ireland League 1B with Ballybridge. We're currently playing against Ballymena, Ballinhinch, and Ballybridge. We're the 3 Ulster teams in that league, and the rest are all Leinster, Munster, and then 2 teams from Connacht. And sort of, I want to break into that squad and sort of push myself to the next level. And then after that, there, I'm actually going down to university down in Carlow.
Ooh.
So, I've aspirations to become a rugby coach down there after, and work with the Leinster setup, or possibly come back up and work with the Ulster setup. Sort of, I've passed of age where now I could get scouted by Ulster, but at the same time, I'm a wee bit hopeful. The fact that Craig Gilroy was 22 and he got scouted for Ulster, and he's playing rugby out of Bangor. Sort of, I've hope that I could, but at the same time, I need to think, what am I bringing different to the table, and sort of how can I push myself to get up on that higher level.
What position do you play?
I'm a winger. I can also play 13 or fullback.
Fullback. That was my old position at school. I'm talking that's ancient history now. You've probably learnt that in. Cause I went to a grammar school, which we didn't back in those days. There was no football. It was or soccer or whatever people want to call it. It was you played rugby or that was it. So
Yeah.
And because I was actually quite good at kicking the ball due to my lengthy long legs, they had me doing fullback because I was too slight to be a winger.
Yeah.
Too skinny.
See, I'm sort of.
There's Gilly Bops in now.
I'm sort of like. I'm sort of. I'm not your average wing. Like wingers are supposed to be big, stocky, behemoths, man. But like, I'm 5'9" at a push. I weigh about 75 kilos. But like, I don't actually go to look to run over the top of people in rugby. I use like footwork to get around them, which is something I think through coaching the aspects sort of it helped me because instead of getting killed every time I was running the ball into contact, I was actually beating people on the outside and I was scoring and stuff. So I was getting more opportunities to play higher levels and stuff, especially as soon as I hit senior rugby age. I went from playing at the bottom of the club to playing seconds in the space of 3 or 4 months. Like it was crazy.
That's really good. That is. So, out of your team, how many would you say smoke on the team? Roughly.
One, if even. It's because everybody's so well drilled at Banbridge. In college, because it's associated with like further education and stuff like that there. So there's people getting 3 A levels out of it, and also being able to play rugby for college and train like a professional athlete. But I'm doing a HND course, which gets me a degree, and then I need to go and do my top-up degree in 2 years. A year's time. Once I finish this year, I have another year, and then I do my top-up degree.
I never entered school. Put me off. I wanted to be a lawyer. When I was going through grammar school, wanted to do my A levels, but Cambridge House just put me off school completely. And so I sloped off and did other things. But I honestly wish now, when I look back, whenever I was at school age and everything else, because I started smoking when I was 9. I didn't stop smoking until a year and a half ago. Well, nearly 2 years ago now. I wish vaping had been around whenever I was at school.
Yeah.
I joined the army, and at that time, it was the very first. I did anything because we weren't allowed to smoke. I joined at 17, so for the first year you called with a junior leader. You weren't allowed to smoke. Hi Teresa. That was the very first privilege I earned, was my smoking privilege. But I would dare say if vaping was around, you'd have been allowed to vape. Because speaking to people that I know in it now, in the dorms, you're not allowed to smoke in the actual dorms anymore, but you're allowed to vape.
To be fair, like it's good. Sort of. I dare say back when you were in it, that was when the whole Arnold Schwarzenegger, like big muscly man with the cigars in the mouth was what everybody was sort of like aiming for. Like,
oh, hang on. I'm 6'3", and there's more meat in a string bean than there is in me, for heaven's sake. Now, I've always been this way.
Yeah. I know sort of myself, my family have been in the forces, just on my dad's side. I don't like to talk about it because of where he was stationed and stuff like that there, because it's he's seen some stuff he didn't really want to see, but he said like there's massive smoking culture in the 80s, 90s, and even in the 2010 like up until then, it was a big, massive smoking culture and stuff.
Well, it was 88 whenever I joined, and out of the dorm of 12, 11 of us smoked.
Fuck.
So that's the sort of thing you're looking at, and it was like you're standing there, you're on the parade ground. It's over in Bovington down in Dorset.
Yeah.
You're on the parade ground, and Sergeant Major would go, smoke break. It wasn't a break, it was a smoke break. Because everybody was down behind the shed having a smoke. And at school, there was the culture of smoking was unbelievable as well. Down behind the big sports hall. 20, 30 was all there smoking.
Sort of see when I was going through school, it was more harder to get away with it because the teachers were very stringent. Like I went to very much a rugby school, but mine was a rugby high school, so compared to like Inst and stuff, we didn't have half the fun they get. But the thing we all had to sign from first year to fifth year was we weren't going to smoke, and then obviously you hit 16, so on the weekends you're going out with your friends, and then you're maybe going to a house party, and then you're having a few drinks, and then somebody's offering you a cigarette. And I feel like nowadays cigarettes are like the gateway into the heavier, like more extreme stuff, like because your body's like addicted to nicotine. Sort of, you're like, oh, you sort of get the addictive personality, and then you try the other stuff, and then so like I feel like more nowadays like smoking has become more of the gateway to like stuff.
Sometimes I wouldn't, well, maybe with you being around your age and everything else.
Yeah.
I've never seen really smoking as a gateway to harder drugs. Like I will admit, when I was 14 or 15, I tried dope once. Didn't do nothing for me, and I saw that and spent enough money on cigs so I not spend any more money on drugs. So I never actually went near them. But I suppose now drug culture in today's society is a lot more
prevalent
and a higher profile to it, and easier to get, and cause it's like my hometown Ballymena is just completely drug ridden now. I'd love to see it just vape ridden, and everybody walking around vaping and everything else.
Yeah.
It's so funny because you see ones. I live not far from. There's 2 football pitches where there's a good standard of football played. Like Harville Homers and that will play there, and the amount of ones standing around the sidelines now. Because it used to be you'd have seen them all standing there with cigarettes in their hand, but you see them now standing with vape in their hand. I'm like, yeah, hey, go on there.
That's good. It's good to see it like being more prevalent at sporting events.
Well, I know James had sponsored young football, children's football. He'd helped sponsoring that. But I am surprised there's not a lot more sponsorship going into the sport from the vape industry as a whole, not just shops, but the whole vape cultures, the whole vape scene as a whole. To me, would benefit from maybe getting into sponsorship of teams or sporting events. Yeah.
Like you look at the Super Bowl, they have what Budweiser, Bud Light, Miller, Corona,
all the alcohol,
all the alcoholic beverages. Then they have all the cigarette brands. Now, I'm not saying that it's not right to like enjoy alcohol, but like I feel like instead of having the smoking brands there, the likes of your Amberleaf, Gold Virginia, maybe John Players, Specials. Because I'm just listing the ones we have over here. I don't know what they have over in America. But like it'd be nice to see the likes of Wismac or Smock or something in there instead of a big brand smoking.
You could just picture now. The worst thing about it was if Smock. In other ways, some of the events, the sponsor gets to design the trophy.
Yeah.
You could picture. You could just picture a Smock one now, couldn't you?
Yeah.
There'd be flashing lights and.
I'd love to see like the Smock Super Bowl in front Just be like an American football, and you just like hold it like that.
The big baby beast, the big baby beast, American football trophy.
Yeah.
The super beast.
Yeah.
I think it's the lack of knowledge of what shops are allowed to sponsor on TV. Yeah, true, Teresa. Teresa makes a very good point there with the TPD of what shops. But has anybody sort of ever sat down with a lawyer to see what actually they can sponsor and what they can't? To know that advertising is with the TPD and everything else, but hopefully when it gets back to Parliament, I think it's next year. I think it's 2 years. It has to go back in for debate again. There's a good few of the MPs now vaping instead of smoking. But
I think what I've seen, most amateur sporting grounds all have like bars and stuff like. So for amateur sport, what's happened? Like maybe Ziggy Sig or something, like putting a sign up in Carrick Rugby Club, or like Ballymena maybe taking the sponsorship of Antrim Sig. Like,
but they can't. The Bunny and Trees there, you know, if it's alluded, it's to do with the TPD regulations. There's so limited. There is limited things that they can actually advertise. Yeah. But if it was just said e-cig or Vape Hunter or something like that,
or like Vape Lounge, like a Vape Lounge where you can go have a coffee and like just chill out.
That's on a Sunday on here, Vape Lounge.
Yeah.
Joking. A shameless plug for the Sunday show. But it's. I really think we need to start. You know, there's all the advocacy going on. The NNA is doing a goodish job from what I can see. They may be doing a heck of a lot behind the scenes that they don't tell us about. But I think it's need to get more lobbyists on the go and pressure groups to introduce, trying to put pressure onto MPs, trying to put pressure onto Westminster, trying to put pressure on their MLAs, on anybody to try and help bring about anything that's going to benefit the health of the nation. To me, that vaping's the one thing that's going to bring down the burden on the NHS.
Yeah. My mum, for anybody who doesn't know, my mum's a nurse. She says the amount of people she's had in my mum's a cardiology nurse. She says the amount of people she has in who smoke and continue to smoke whilst they're in being treated for cardiology and respiratory stuff is something like 3 to 1 compared to somebody who's in there and they vape. Like, I feel the way the NHS says about, oh, this is a no smoke zone, but yet every time you go to hospital to visit a relative, there's always somebody outside smoking a cigarette. Like, I feel like they're trying to over enforce, but like they can't fully enforce it because they're so burdened.
Yeah, it's true. When you go up to the City Hospital, Dundonald Hospital, and the first thing you get greeted by, this is a no smoking zone. Antrim Hospital, as soon as you can, you don't even like to smoke in your car park.
Yeah.
And the last time my mum was in the hospital, I was sitting having a vape in the car, and somebody went past and said, you know, you can't do that in the car. And I went, under what regulation or what rule has stopped me from vaping in the car? The anti-smoking ban. I went, okay, I'm not smoking, I'm vaping.
Yeah.
And they went, oh, but it's the same thing. I went, I think I find it's not. It mentions no in the NHS smoking ban. It doesn't mention vaping in it anywhere, and they're actually starting to look at introducing vape rooms into hospitals.
Yeah, saying that there is genuinely an amazing thing. It should be introduced, and you should be able to at least buy a POC X at the shop in the hospital. You know, something that isn't too big and doesn't require too much.
Sod that. Have big clouds. Get the window open and have big clouds. Cloud the place out. If you can't see somebody that's being sick, then don't worry about it.
free bonzes for everybody.
Yeah, 'cause I can remember I was in hospital whenever I was 20 something. I was in hospital for quite a while, and back then in Antrim Hospital you had 2 rooms at the end of each corridor. One was a day room for non-smokers, and one was a day room for smokers.
It's crazy, like.
Right, what you said. Village it is true. So when you think they can advertise on a billboard in the back of a van because it's moving, but you can't advertise vaping on a normal billboard. Yeah, that's the Village. Very good points.
It's
And Big Gun said, if vaping was allowed to advertise like alcohol, today's game is brought to you by Smog, the junk coils company of the world, or something like that. Yeah, it would be the big baby beast junk coil of the year award. Big Guns. Big Guns is over in America, by the way. So we have got America, with Scotland, with England. We've got Dundonald. Teresa's in Dundonald. That's got its own. Have you not seen that thing on Facebook? The Dundonald Liberation Army.
Oh, the DLA.
Yeah, DLA. I think that and the Ulster Fry has got to be the 2 funniest things on Facebook.
Have you ever seen the thing, lad?
We'll not go there.
No. No.
The Donald and I spoke, or the DLA don't take offence out of take offence out of everything and not anything.
Yeah.
Well, lads just hypocrisy.
Slanderous in a way.
Yeah. Whereas the DLA is just their stories are so funny, and I'm going to have to get. I think I know who's behind it, and we have to get in touch with them and get them to do a vape and smoking one.
Yeah.
I think that would be funny.
It's sort of the thing I like is I genuinely like I didn't know the channel would get people from America, England, Scotland, and all that there. Like, it's nice to get everybody like situated in like one chat room, like all chatting about vaping instead of like, you know, chatting about random stuff. Like, it's nice that it's a topic that should be addressed more by the government and stuff. Like, it should be talked about more by the government instead of like everyday people having to like raise the argument, being like,
it's such a diverse culture. It's such a diverse community, though. When you look at it, it doesn't stop at borders. It doesn't stop at colour. It doesn't stop at religion. It doesn't stop at what your preferences are. It
only stops at wattage.
Doesn't even stop at wattage. How many batteries can you get in?
Blow your biggest cloud.
Yeah, it's sometimes it becomes a dick measuring contest. But that's when people start taking it silly. You know, I can blow bigger clouds than you, and you know, it's starting to go. Even the elitist mods are starting to become more. I wouldn't say more affordable, but there's ways and means in getting them. Like, there's Bunny has got a gold G class, but then also Gail has got a gold G class. So they're becoming, you know, there's 2 people in the community.
Yeah.
Have got gold G classes. I haven't got one. I couldn't afford one.
Do you know, the one thing I'd love would be like one of the Alpha boxes. They look insane.
The what?
The Alvin boxes.
Elephant boxes.
The Alvin box.
Alvin. Oh, Alvin. Sorry, see, it's that accent of yours. You've been living in Banbridge too long. You need to come to Ballymena and learn how to speak properly. Get them sheep out of them field, boy, hey.
See, I didn't want to make that there joke because I didn't know if you'd take offence to the sheep jokes, because I've said them to a few friends from Ballymena and they've been like, I can't believe you've done this.
Okay, what's Ballymena United? What's one of the Ballymena United supporters clubs or groups called? The Fluffy Sheep.
I don't know.
The Fluffy Sheep. You know, they take it at the end of the day. If you can't take a joke about yourself, jump into a flower pot and grow up.
Yeah.
And Bunny, I will knock the J class, but I don't like it. Oh dear. But it's, you know, we've got, Ballymina's got the Fairhill Shopping Centre, hey.
Where's the outlet?
Yeah, that outlet was alright the last time I was there.
It's
6
good
years
crack.
ago. About 6 years ago, I got a nice
But windy, like.
Banbridge is windy, full stop, end of story. But if it's somebody sneezes in Banbridge, it just blows up the main street.
Gale force winds everywhere.
Up through the cut.
Yeah.
The only thing the cut's good for on a wet day, you can stand under it and keep dry.
It is. I tell you, the nicest thing though in Banbridge is, do you know the Downshire Arms, the hotel?
Yep.
Across the road? Say if you're ever down, does the nicest steak, steak what? Anything steak.
You've got,
Does the nicest steak stuff.
is it Friar Tuck's the chippy down there?
Yeah. Friar Tuck's is unreal. I'll
Yeah.
definitely be there tonight.
Friar Tuck's is good. Oh, by the way, yeah, because Ben's heading out. He done his Valentine's stuff at the weekend. Just to make anybody jealous, he went to the Ireland game. There is a few rugby fans in the room.
Yeah. As long as the English don't kick up about how they're going to beat us on St Patrick's Day, I'm happy enough.
Village Vapor, the G class isn't special, apart from you need a degree to work the blooming thing. No, my personal preference is I don't like it. It just doesn't sit like in my hands. My hands are probably too skinny and too gangly, but I don't like it.
Do you know what kits I like? And it's not because I like cars as well. It's the V2000s. Or the V200s.
The one that looks like the
Honda Civic hubcaps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The VTEC thing, yeah.
Yeah. Daniel, if he's still in, has got a white one. So hopefully he's going to let me buy off him on tomorrow. Yeah, what day is tomorrow? What day is that? This is Wednesday.
Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah. I have lost track of all days because I've been working stupid, silly hours at times.
Have you ever tried the Bristol Brew stuff?
Bristol Brew? No, not yet. Not yet. The coffee stuff. I love my coffee. I love my
nice.
coffee. The English got lucky at the weekend. Who else played us lucky? Yeah, they did. They did. Steve Dave.
Yeah. All I'm going to say on the England Wales thing is, I don't know why both of the managers were trying to sort of take the hand out of each other. I think I know why. One's a Kiwi, the other one's an Australian. You know, you put them two boys in the room, only one boy's going to walk out, and to be fair, it'll probably be an Aussie.
No, it wouldn't. It would be the Irishman.
He'd just wake up after like the night out, be like, "Oh my head."
Yeah. Well, I don't think the Irishman would have to wake up because he'd been drinking the whole night through. The Aussies think they can drink. They can't drink soup. Kiwis couldn't drink water.
Oh, I have a few Kiwi friends, like, and Jesse can hardly slug it. Like, the first time, like the first day he was here, he came over to my house and we were having a barbecue and stuff. Like, my friends all had balls of Buckfast. He was like, "What's that there?" And we were like, "Oh, sorry, we can't like let you into the brotherhood." He was like, "Why?" I was like, "Genuinely, Jesse, don't drink that." And he's like, "Oh, just let me have a sip." I think we're like, "Okay." And my dad went and got him water and stuff, and he ended up sculling the thing, like just completely downing it. I was confused. I was like, "You're not supposed to do that." And he's like, "Is your heart supposed to like pulsate?" I was like, "Yes."
Right, Ben. That's our first show for the evening. Would you like to say goodnight to the ones in chat?
Good night, everybody who's actually came in and joined tonight. Thanks for being not too vocal, not too rowdy. And thank you, and I can't wait to start streaming and working with Roy on the Wednesday shows, and hopefully maybe a few other shows.
Not a problem, Ben, at all. It was a pleasure to have you on, and I think you've done very well for your first show on Vape Lounge NI. And so anybody else out there that is looking, that would like to join the network, it is primarily aimed at the Northern Ireland vape scene, but the likes of this show and everything else is got worldwide appeal. And thank you very much, chat, for coming in and being there. It's without you guys coming into the chat and participating, there wouldn't be any point of us having Ben and this mug here sitting on here.
Just be two boys chatting.
Yep. We will just a wee plug then for Sunday. We are going to be doing something brand new for the show, which is taking it on the road. Mr. Casey will be sat at home. It'll be his first time actually hosting the cast, while myself and Vapor Bunny will be at Antrim E6 store in Antrim. Where else would it be? And we'll be broadcasting from there. So hopefully see you all on Sunday. And from me, Roy's Review, good night. And from Ben,
good night.